Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Dan.
And I'm Austin.
We're here to play games.
Badly.
Welcome back to Xenogears. We have made it to Nissan at this point, and we concluded last time after rescuing Margie from Ramses and Gebler and Shakan in Vladivik, the Av capital. And we were just doing some lore discussion here. Just a little bit of a note here. I did manage to go ahead and acquire a couple of things from the shop here. They're actually not here. I would have to go to the equips. But I went ahead and grabbed a ether doubler and a holy pendant.
Nice.
So that was a grand total of 46,000. I do want to emphasize for the viewers, it is not necessary to buy these at this time. I'm just kind of getting ahead. So if you don't mind grinding, just walk out and fight in the desert for a while. You'll have plenty of money to buy this kind of stuff.
Right. We discovered that the desert dropped more money and the forest dropped more experience. Is that correct?
Yeah. The forest drops more experience. The desert drops more money. And I got good experience from the desert still, though. So we do have our next death blow available, Triangle Square X, for our 3 party members so far. So that does also mean our gears are capable of attack level 3 combos now, which is pretty cool. But most of this episode is going to be lots of story stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go meet up with Margie.
Hooray.
And we're going to be going through a lot of stuff today. It's going to be awesome. Let's see. I think... Oh, hello. Extends all the way around the lake.
Which extends all the way around the cathedral.
Might want to
Just for fun, you might want to go all the way around it yourself. Not that there's much to see at all, mind you.
I swear, I would love to have a conversation one day with Richard Honeywood. Like, did you have, like, fun? Like, we've heard about how stressful it is. It was for him, because he was the only person doing translation and localization.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it just... Yeah, let's go back in. I'm going the wrong way. Anyway, I would love to have a conversation with him about just some of the goofy stuff that I'm sure he noticed kind of cropped in as he was doing the work on this game.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my Gobrino. Nuns. Hello.
Neither of us serve heaven within the Nissan Cathedral. But we pray here daily as ones who have lived here for many years.
All right. And yeah, let's go talk to Margie. Hello.
These are the people who took care of me when I was small.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Hello.
Cool. I'm so glad you're safe. Welcome back.
They're all so happy. Here we go.
Oh, Bart, I'm glad you're well. People at the hidden port contacted us just before you came into town. It's hard to tell which one of these is the one speaking.
Yeah, it is.
I've already contacted the monastery. Please take Margie up there as soon as possible. She'll be so happy, not to mention the sisters.
Alrighty.
I must hurry and see the sisters.
Let's do it. You're just kind of hanging out on the map there.
Yeah, that's a cool area.
Yeah, I really like Nissan. It's really cool. Here we go.
Quick, grab the mirror shield.
Mm-hmm.
Those were one-winged individuals?
They did look like it.
Margie! Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Mwah. Margie! I'm back, everyone. Oh, Margie. We're so glad you're safe. Yes, it's all thanks to Bart and his men. Oh, we're his men, are we?
Indeed.
We just received word. So we were singing a hymn of praise and joy. We're so happy. Oh, what a relief. Welcome back, Margie.
Sister Agnes.
We had faith that you and your cousin Bart would one day return safely. We and your other friends have been waiting for you. Sister Agnes! Unfortunately, your mother and the Blessed Royal Mother. I know, Sister Agnes. I heard about it at the Royal Capital. But at least I have made it back. I guess. I'll never go anywhere or leave you from now on. I won't make you all worry anymore, ever again. Don't you worry about it. Bless you, my dear. Sister Agnes, this just isn't like you at all. Here I am back safe and sound. Can't you rebuke me just a little, for old time's sake? I'm sorry. But I'm just so happy that I cannot help but... Sister... There is no reason to be so solemnly quiet. Well, everyone, to celebrate the return of our dear Sister Margie, and to express our joy to heaven, let us finish singing our hymn. Thank you, and bless you all. Oh, yes, sister, may I go upstairs? It's been oh so long, so I want to have a look around up there, too. Oh, but of course, dear. Don't even think of holding back from anything. Except for one thing. Never stay away so long like that again. Haha, I knew you'd say that. No, that's the Agnes I know. Margie, I am so glad.
Run.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Pitter patter, pitter patter.
Back to their hymn.
Yep. It's been a while since the last time I was here. Huh? Something wrong, Margie? Nothing. Liar. It's just... I guess I got a little emotional. You've been through a lot. It's okay to feel a little emotional. In fact, the fact that you haven't been feeling it until now is, you know.
Yeah, just under stress for a while and then relief, and you're like, oh.
Right. Finally get to a safe space and you can let it explode.
Decompress, yeah.
Anyhow, take it easy for a while. You put up with enough, okay? If you're trying to make me cry, you'll fail. Oh, yeah. I'll show Faye and Saitan around our cathedral. Follow me. Wait, why are you running?
Running.
What a strong girl she is. It is obvious that she really wants to just break down and cry. Yeah, you're right. I mean, her breaking down and crying isn't a weakness.
It's true.
That's just the way she's always been. For all her talk, she understands her position well. Maybe there are a few things I could learn from her, too.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to take a look around here. I like this stained glass window, letting the light in. A little pattern on the floor there. It's a little pixely with the PS1 graphics here, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, they're standing at this altar. We can't really get a good look at it because they're kind of convened around it, but let them sing their hymn, and we'll talk to Margie here.
We go up to the galley on the second floor from here.
Alrighty.
Gallery, not galley.
Indeed, the gallery.
What is this, a ship?
It's a ship. It's a church ship.
Bouncy bow.
Ah, yes.
Look at those arches.
Now we'll get a better look. I love the architecture of this place.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think of Final Fantasy X a little bit. Oh, what is that place?
Like the temples?
Yeah, but there's a specific town where Yuna is like supposed to get married to Seymour. That area has a lot of red buildings.
Oh, sure.
I just don't remember the name of the place.
I don't either, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, but they just have some of that similar, like, I guess patterning on like the arches and the stuff there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of.
How magnificent. Yeah, this is what made me think of.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever get scolded for pranks as kids, Bart and I used to hide here. Hey, stop telling those old stories. It's embarrassing. But to me, Bart hasn't changed much since then.
Since then.
Yeah, God. What? What do you mean you think I'm still a kid? I'm like twice your height now.
You have that, like, weird antagonistic rivalry going on. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm. I like the view from here the best.
And this you were commenting on earlier.
Yeah. Wow, that's really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a painted mural behind the statues?
Yeah, that is what it looks like. I believe it's got some light coming through, but yeah.
Okay. Yes, this is breathtaking. I agree, Saitan. I would be interested to see a place like this in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Light from the outside shines through the stained glass of the cathedral's front. What a brilliant piece of artistry this is. He would appreciate this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that the two great angels only have one wing each? Oh.
They do.
According to a legend handed down in Nisan, God could have created humans perfectly, but then humans would not have helped each other. Oh, interesting. So that is what these great single-winged angels symbolize.
Hmm.
Oh, in order to fly, they are dependent on one another. Okay. That actually helps me understand some other stuff too.
Oh, yeah?
Well, not related to this game.
Sure.
So that is the reason for it. I'm going to write that down though. I see. On further inspection, the left angel looks somewhat masculine, while the right one looks somewhat feminine. Now that is an unusual feature, is it not? Usually these depictions are not gender specific. But these angels are clearly distinguishable as having opposing genders. And the space between them is the path where the gods advance. Is the path from where God advents. Okay.
Mm-hmm. From where God advents.
Oh, could it be the path leading to God?
Or could it be both?
Two-way street?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do not know. Could be either, or even both.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, now I see. This all coincides with the teachings of Nisan.
Faye and Bart
are both like, what?
Yep, they're like, what? What is he talking about?
Right. Why, Dr. Saitan Uzuki, you are an amusing fellow. Oh, excuse me. I get excited about old things.
He does.
It's a habit of mine. The doc knows a lot about a lot of things.
He does.
An uncomfortable amount about a lot of things. Sometimes I can't even understand what he's talking about. Forcing them to fly together? It'd be less bothersome if they could fly on their own, don't you think, Faye? That's kind of the point. Bart, you missed the deeper meaning and beauty of it.
Oh, Bart.
Someday I wish I could be the help to someone like that. Oh, we haven't visited the room of Sophia yet, have we? You're really supposed to go through some procedures before you can see it. But this time I think it'll be alright if I make a special exception. It's a lot of paperwork. It's really a hassle. Sophia?
Sophia, meaning wisdom.
Yeah, Sophia. She is revered as the founding mother of the Nisan nation. And the founder of the Nisan religion who set forth its teachings. There is a special room upstairs that has a portrait of Mother Sophia in it. I would certainly like to view that. Faye, let us go have a look at it. All right.
So, several interesting things here. Nisan, as a sect, is its own kind of religious teaching. And we haven't seen a lot about this yet, but we have also heard of the other faction, the Ethos, which I had forgotten about this until I checked out some more material today, actually. Ethos is a different translation than what was in the original Japanese. Originally, it was just called the Church. So it's very interesting because, is Nissan the same as Ethos? It doesn't seem to be, because this is isolated over here in the nation of Nissan, whereas Ethos is all over the place. They're salvaging gears and stuff like that. So, what are the relations between these two religions, really?
Right.
Now, the Room of Sophia. Kind of flashing there, Bart. You should get that looked at.
Oh no, he's going out of focus. Quick.
He's fuzzy. Get out of here.
Stabilize.
Farther on in.
Farther on in.
All right. Pop in here. All right. Another piece of art with light. That cross symbol reflected on the ground. Does that look familiar to you?
Yeah, isn't it the same necklace symbol?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, what's an exquisite portrait. So does that mean she was part of the Nisan religion at the time? And the beautiful young lady portrayed is quite beyond comparison too. Is she gonna be the orange-haired? So, anyway, what is more, this looks rather familiar. What do you think, Faye? Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. The hair is a different color, but the atmosphere of personality about her is exactly the same. What? Hair color? What do you mean? What do I mean? Look. It's the girl I met in the forest. It's Ellie. I mean, there's something about her that's just like Ellie. You don't think so? Just the awkward silence.
I'm like, what? What? Come on.
Yes, now that you mention it, she does resemble Ellie. But that is not what I was talking about. I meant that the brush techniques and overall style used in this picture is similar to yours. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Really? They were looking at two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she does look a lot like Ellie.
Yep.
Does it? First of all, I'm nowhere near as good as an artist. No, it's very similar to your style. But somehow I can sense an atmosphere of sadness in this picture. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
She is smiling, but in a way gives the impression that she is anxious. Perhaps the picture is reflecting her inner self? What are we, watching the Mona Lisa here?
Hmm.
Or perhaps it is the inner feelings of the artist being conveyed. I'm sure there's something very specific happening. Ah. If you look closely, you will notice the painting is not completely finished. The artist put his brushes down when it was near completion. Or someone scrubbed out the artist's signature.
Hmm. Could be.
Why is that? I don't know.
Exactly.
But my grandmother might have known about it. Well, the question is also, how old is this religion?
It's a good question.
Oh, what if we ask Agnes? She may know something. Because, like, if it's even 100 years old, there's probably not anybody alive who's going to know the answer to that question. Like, which I'm assuming it's more than that, right? But, like, even on a short end.
Sure. Yeah, maybe something that's lost to the history of the religion.
Right. I mean, of course, there's also oral traditions and all that. So it's very possible that the story is passed down from the head of the area to the
head
next.
of the order.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is just, you can walk up to it and just take a look at it. Wow, it zooms way in.
Yeah, it does. And she does look similar to the silhouetted person, too, in the flashback from several episodes ago now.
Silhouetted person in the flashback?
Yeah. So, it's one of the animated flashback scenes. And it's a nun that looks like Ellie in that flashback, as she's got the cross as well.
Okay. Yep.
So, assuming that this is the same person, which begs a lot of questions, so I'm not making that assumption. But at the very least, they are connected in some way. So,
sure.
You know, like if we're just saying, throwing it way out there, Faye's a lot older than we think he is, then, you know, this memory he had of this nun with the cross could have been Sophia, but he was superimposing Ellie on that memory because he had met her recently and they had similar features.
So you're saying that they have a passing similarity, and so he's reading into it with his own memories?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Because like when you have dreams and stuff, which I feel like it was a dream that he was kind of re-encountering this memory, right? Because it was a flash of.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And so it's, you know, dreams are unreliable for full anything. So like, it is possible that he was experiencing a memory, but it wasn't 100% correctly recollected.
Yeah, that's possible.
Which, again, I'm not saying that's the case, because that would, again, assuming that she's the founder of the Nisan religion, the religion's been around long enough to establish an order, so it's not a young religion necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not in the stage of a religion where it's kind of a movement, if you will.
Right.
It's non-specific. It's got traditions pretty clearly here.
Right. Several generations, at least. Hold on, I'm writing down. Give me 2 seconds.
That is okay. There's a lot to process here. Yeah. Those are some interesting thoughts about that, yeah.
Right. And again, I'm not saying that that's what I believe, but these are like the thoughts that go through my head.
Sure.
Like Faye's brushstrokes. I wanted to make sure I took a note of the brushstrokes aspect of it too.
Yeah, that's what Seiton noticed about it, is that it was similar to Faye's style.
Right. Mother Sophia looks like Ellie is Faye's observation. And then that they are similar brushstroke styles in the painting. So Um, yep. All right. All right, then. I'll be with Sister Agnes. Have fun. Bye. Well, shall we head back to the town for now? Yes, all right. But this painting has caught my curiosity. Do you mind if I speak to Sister Agnes before we head back to town? Yeah, okay. We'll stop by her room on the way out. Happens to be right by the front door, actually. It's kind of convenient. Okay. Faye? What's happening here? Lacan.
Lacan.
Is something wrong, Faye? You look like you're daydreaming. Huh? No, it's nothing. Use your words, please.
So, yeah, little extra scene there. Looked like Faye was painting what was probably Mother Sophia, and then the name Lacan was said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me see. Ah. I don't remember if her room is around here. Let's poke around here for just a moment. Hey, a ladder. Oh yeah, this is to get to books on the wall. Hello. Where Smith's take is out there somewhere. Way out of the confusion we are now facing. The sister sitting diagonally across from me is desperately looking for that answer. But there's no one sitting, you're standing. What are you saying? Ah. Here we go.
Okay, yep. I understand that you were shown Sophia's portrait. Excuse me. The lady portrayed that the picture is Nassan's great founding mother. 500 years ago. Please give me a year. Oh my gosh, I was just kidding about the 500.
You keep doing that. You're just calling these random things.
I just picked a random number.
Mm-hmm.
Some said that it was painted at least 500 years ago. Could be more. That is wild.
Yep.
500 years ago. Now that is quite amazing. Personally, I find it intriguing. Do you have any historical material from that period? In our hands, there are no such records left intact. Go ask Ethos. They have everything. All records and materials concerning Sophia have been lost. The portrait is the only thing left.
It makes sense why there would be procedures to see it, because it's all they have left of the founder of their religion.
Yeah, and we too do not have much knowledge about her. And the other aspect of it too is there's minimal lighting in there. Like I know there's 2 lanterns, right? And then the sunlight, which would still be bad for painting if the light moves upward toward that painting at all during the day. But the lower lighting is actually better for like oils and stuff on paints, for those who don't know. So
they do seem to be taking some measures to preserve it.
Right. We too do not have much knowledge about her. That is too bad. So there's really nothing left at all. For someone who has helped Marguerite, I would have loved to have shared them. But unfortunately, I am unable to help here. Oh well, none of the matter. Please do not worry about it. I was just inquiring. But it does seem somewhat strange. If such a majestic building as this survived history, then it's likely a scroll or two would have remained too. According to tradition, Sophia was present about 500 years ago. She sacrificed herself for the people and has been summoned to be with God. That's all I can tell you.
Tradition.
I see. So everything was lost in the darkness of history.
Such a shame.
Yep.
Anything else? Ah, yes.
I wonder what kind of person Sophia was. I would have loved to have met her.
right. So some very intriguing developments here.
Yeah, I think summoned by God is an interesting way to say that. I don't know if they're saying she died, because she did say sacrifice, but
Yes.
Summoned by God is a very interesting way to say she died, if that's the case.
Yeah, it's something of a. It strikes me as similar to being called to heaven, that sort of thing, like ascending on a chariot or something like that.
Right. Being called home.
Altar. Yeah. But yeah, that's the cathedral there. And we're gonna go ahead and head out here.
Okay, so this memory or vision that Faye had about painting Sophia's portrait does kind of remind me of some of my thought processes about maybe Saiten. And I guess at this point, Faye being a host to a different entity to some degree. Because Faye could be 500 years old, right? Assuming the memory is legitimate. But what I feel like is more likely is that what I said, angel, I think at the beginning of the series, which again, I don't know what those would be, but let's just say angel for consistency.
Sure.
That this angel who is bound to Faye, maybe it was also bound to another person, or was a person who was alive during the time painted Sophia. And then whatever happened, and now it's this soul, this entity is merged with Faye, and so Faye is seeing this other entity's memories.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
There's got to be some reason for it, right? Like, assuming that he wasn't just daydreaming, of course, you know.
Right. And it would explain, well, I feel like Lacan being a name or a thing or person in that vision would make it more than just a daydream.
And
there's
just so everybody is aware, Lacan should be a familiar name if you're familiar with psychoanalysis, psychiatry. It's a reference to the French psychoanalyst Jacques Lacan.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's sort of the origin of that name. But yeah, you're right though. The inclusion of a proper name in that is indicative of something else.
Right.
That goes beyond just a daydream.
Right. And if it is like memories or experiences from this other being, then it would explain things like similar brushstrokes or having knowledge that he wouldn't normally have, like Ellie, for instance.
Oh, like knowing her name at the beginning?
Right. Like, I mean, obviously there's something more going on here, but just there's occasionally flashes of knowledge of things he wouldn't normally have. Now, some of that could be just him recovering memory. But I don't think so in the case of like Ellie, for example, because she didn't know who he was, unless she too has lost memory. I don't know, but
yeah, it's a good question. Why did he know who she was and she didn't know who he was?
Right.
Or his name, or something like that.
Right.
Yep. Oh yeah, Van Houten. I believe I had mentioned that was a common Dutch name. I believe. Well, maybe not common, but it's a Dutch name. It also can mean of the forest, and you meet Ellie in the forest. So,
oh, nice.
Just kind of a funny little thing that I'd forgotten about with regards to her last name. Pop back in here.
I wonder which came first, the story written of Faye meeting her in the forest or her name.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's possible that they didn't know what to give her last name, like what to give her as a last name, and then it was like, oh yeah, we'll just, forest. You met her in the forest.
Right, or maybe some joke like, oh yeah, it's Ellie of the Forest, and then they're like, let's do it, let's translate that, let's give it a good name.
Why not? Let's do it.
Right.
My son.
Young master.
Up here. What? You're like clipping into him. What are you doing?
The people of Nisan were most generous to allow us to rent this house. So there will be no need to seek lodgings at the inn for a while.
Excellent.
Also, Master Sigurd wishes a word with you regarding your next move, if he may. Alright, so where's Sig? A good Master Sigurd is waiting for you inside.
Okay, thanks, Bison.
Sigurd was in seed.
All right.
Whenever I come here, it always calms my heart. Anyway, young master, I want to work out what our plans from here on are.
All right. But before we do that, there is something I want to ask you.
Me?
Yeah. See, I overheard you with Faye, and I have lots of questions. Sig, who's Hyuga?
Hmm.
What's up with you and that Gebler officer? What's the connection between you and him? You know, you sure know a lot about Gebler for some reason. Are you a traitor? Faye.
Nods.
Just like sticking with like one eye past the...
He's like, what?
All right, I'll tell you.
You got the nod from Saiton first before proceeding.
Which makes me think that Saiton has some authority.
Mm.
Anyway, me and Saiton here, we used to live in Solaris. Dun dun dun.
The reveal.
Right. Solaris? You mean where Gebler's from? That's right. Solaris calls foreigners lambs. They are used as manual labor. Basically, it's slavery. Slavery? Is that where you met him? Yes, it was there. We worked for the Solaris government for a short while. But we learned to dislike their methods and escaped the first chance we had. You were friends with these people? I met you when I was a kid, and we've been together ever since then. So this would have had to happen even before then. I probably wouldn't have understood this if I had heard it earlier, but... Why didn't you think I could deal with it now? Surely you could have told me about this. Especially when you had something to do with the people who are backing that Shakan idiot. I wish you told me sooner. There's nothing I can do about that now. But there's one thing I want you to believe. We left Solaris on our own will and for our own reasons. Now they've appeared before us, we can't just sit back and do nothing. If need be, I will give my life to stop them. All right, I understand. But can you elaborate a little bit more?
All right. Time to start asking questions. So we're going to take it from the top. Where is Solaris?
What bugs me is this surface dwellers thing. It's as if Solaris is another location, like up in the clouds or something? Yes, well... Oh man, this music.
Mm-hmm.
Enshranaq, the capital of the Solaris Empire, is located in the skies above. Of course it is.
Petronank.
Solaris is separate from the land by dimensional distortion fields known as gates. So not only in the sky, but it's also like another dimension. Passing between the two requires special means of transportation, such as an airship.
Yeah, so it's specifically phased. It's not that it's necessarily in another dimension. There's just a weird dimensional phasing that's happening.
To get to Arv, we stowed away on a regular flight to the surface. I came much later than Sigurd did, but I also escaped in the same way.
Also, and just to give you guys an idea, Etranank is it's a kind of a mistranslation of Etymanki, I believe is how you say it. Etymanki, that's what it is. Ziggurat dedicated to the god Marduk in Babylon in the 6th century. Can be translated as Temple of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth.
Oh.
So it's kind of a grand name, and it's the capital of Solaris that's phased out. So Solaris is kind of the nation, but they live in the capital, which is behind the dimensional barrier.
Right. Must be a pretty big place.
Mm-hmm. One would think.
This could be where paradise was, allegedly.
Lambs. What are lambs?
That is the word Solarians use to indicate those who live on the earth. As I said before, such surface dwellers or earth dwellers are used for manual labor there. Manual labor could be anything from soldiers to administrative jobs. Solaris gathers its workforce from the land dwellers. Jobs are divided up by who is most suitable. Sometimes people are brainwashed. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Brainwashed? When you, young master, were still an infant, I was used as a test subject. There was probably something they valued inside of me. You too, Doc? No. I was born in the lower city levels. It is not a complete secret. But I guess I am a Solarian. You see, you still need people to run a country. No matter how scientifically advanced you are, you have no support without people. Pure Solarians are rare. They would not even make up a quarter of Av's total population. So they support their country by stealing surface dwellers. Oh.
Yep. So you're starting to get a little bit more of a picture of this oppressive nation that's kind of behind the scenes here, who's thrown their support behind Av and the puppet ruler, Shakan.
Right. It also explains why they do that specifically. Play the field, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
As support for Av or whatever, to move the planet's surface in a way that suits them best.
Yep, in a way that's beneficial for their ends and their goals, which we don't really know what those are at the moment. But you know,
right.
it could be that they want Av to win the conflict for some reason. Yes, and the other thing, Seitan is a pure Solarian. Sigurd is not. He was one of those that was taken and used for manual labor in Solaris.
Yeah, specifically he said he was experimented on.
Yes, he was experimented on. That's right.
When he was an infant or when he was young? I couldn't.
When Bart was an infant. So
Okay.
Sigurd is older than Bart. So when he was
Right.
younger, he was taken and experimented on. I take it as being when he was a child, I believe.
Yeah, that's how I took it too. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
Not an infant, but a child. Yeah. Who is that man?
Hold on. I'm writing down stuff
No problem.
before I forget.
Yep. There's a lot
Isn't-
here. Plenty to process.
It is. His name is Karin Ramses. As you know, he's the Gebler commander. Ramses? We call him Kar. Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
In Solaris, there's an officer training school called Jugend. He became the commander after leaving there. He is a lower level citizen, same as me. However, with his amazing abilities, after graduating, he rose through the ranks with unparalleled speed. That man had one ideal: to achieve a consolidation of all his colleagues. Even land dwellers, if they had talent, were brought into the army. So you two were picked by Ramses? No, we were not picked by him. We aligned ourselves with him. At the time, we agreed with him. At the time, Ramses was our hope. He had high ideals and wanted to change the system in Solaris. To us test subjects and lower-level citizens, he was truly all that we wished for. A benefactor? Yes, even I, a test subject, was changed by his ideals.
So they aligned with this man who had different ideals, and now he's in command of the Gebler forces. So clearly he succeeded at least some of his goals. But that's kind of their history. That's why they know who he is.
Right. Why did you leave? Excellent question.
Yeah, very good question.
So why was it that you wanted to flee from Solaris?
Cutscene.
We were placed in key military positions by Ramses. And thanks to that, we came to know the relationship between Solaris and the surface dwellers. The lambs, right? Yes, I'm telling a story, now shut up. They weren't just using us lambs for slave labor. They also selected some of us, like me, to be used as subjects in experiments to refine their drugs. Drugs that change people's personalities to make them more aggressive and to draw out their latent abilities. They were using us as human guinea pigs to test their psychological alteration drugs. Human guinea pigs? Experimenting on humans? Yes, for example, Drive. That drug, and all others like it that are used now, are byproducts of human experimentation. However, the role of such experimental subjects was not limited to just that. This drive drug is something that anyone in the Solaris army can use? At least anyone in the Gebler forces who is sent to the surface. You're worried about her, huh? How did you know? I saw some in her room. No. Anyway, using slaves as guinea pigs. How low are these guys? How despicable. Damn.
All right, and ask again. We'll just let you go back through the 4 questions. So we're going to say we understand at this point.
I think I get most of it. That's more than me, buddy.
There's a lot.
Old Myson. All right, so they learned about the true relationship between Solaris, between surface dwellers and the Able.
Yes. Yeah, so the term lambs was unpacked. Lambs is just a word for surface dwellers.
Right.
Solarians use. Um,
I'm gonna put Solarians here as my notes for now because Abel hasn't really been unpacked yet.
yes, indeed. But the expression is "we the able." Um, shepherd. I don't remember if shepherd was used, but lead the surface dwelling lambs of sorts.
Yeah,
So there's some
Shepherd was used there.
implications. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, Abel, in the biblical tradition, Abel was a shepherd, I believe. Um,
yeah.
yeah. And his brother Cain was what was Cain? Cain was something else. A hunter,
He was. He worked the land. He was a farmer.
a farmer. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
So
right.
I mean, he may have hunted as well, but in the tale, right in Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
specifically because it was like the first official offering
Mm-hmm.
relayed. Cain took um fruits that were not as good. He didn't pick the freshest or the best. He just picked like the ones that would have been second choice,
Mm-hmm.
right? Spotted, that kind of stuff, and offered them up to God as a sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
to show his affection for him.
Mm-hmm.
And Abel, meanwhile, took a pure, spotless lamb. The first fruits is a term used regularly.
Right.
Um, so Abel offered that up, and God found Abel's sacrifice more appealing and more favorable than Cain, and Cain became jealous of Abel
Mm-hmm.
and killed his brother.
Killed him. Your brother's blood cries out from the ground.
Right.
Yes.
Specifically, I think it says something like struck him with a stone,
Mm-hmm.
like bashed him in the back of the head, kind of thing.
Right.
So he not only killed his brother, but he like cheap shotted him.
Right.
So
Yeah. And Abel and lambs, sacrificing lambs. There's a lot of imagery there with the terms being used.
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But so it seems like it's specifically the use of these surface dweller humans for guinea pigs for these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Human experimentation. Yeah, for scientific research purposes, for military applications, whatever their goal is, the military is able to use it. That's what those gears that busted into Bart's hideout were using. They were using drive when Seitan
Right.
said they're using that stuff. So obviously Seitan knew about drive because of his background, from
Right.
Solaris. He was aware of it. It's been in use for at least a while.
Yep. Which really has me wondering again about the Gazelle
Mm-hmm.
and Seitan's relationship with them, which I know we'll learn more.
Mm-hmm. It's a good
But like
question.
if he's Solarian, how does the Gazelle tie into that and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. Very, very good question. Keep that question in mind. Yeah. Lots of lore, lots of interesting questions being raised here, and some
For
answers.
sure.
Really,
Yeah.
we learn a little bit more about Solaris. We're getting some more info, and you kind of get the sense you're being talked to straight by Sigurd and Seitan here a little bit.
Right. All right. Go reserve the town hall for us. We'll finish talking there. I'm going outside to get some air. I'm angry.
He's got to kind of just be like, "Oh man," outside for a bit.
Yeah. I gotta process.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I am at the end of most of our episodes. Where I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Anything else? Oh yeah, should have been honest with him.
I should have been
sooner.
honest with him sooner.
Yeah.
It is best not to worry about it. You did all you could at the time. The young one will understand. See, again.
The young one.
Yeah, and now it's not capitalized or anything, so it's not a title, but it is a moniker they use for him.
Right. Indeed.
And I could be harping on nothing, but
Could be, but it is interesting because they do use it a fair amount.
I am sure the young master would never have dreamed of such a tale. I guess you already knew? Of course he did. Well, now that you ask, yes, I did. However, when Sigurd was telling his story, I thought it was best to stay quiet. Please try and help the young master come to terms with all that he has just heard.
Certainly. Let's go find him.
Listen, buddy, I'm still reeling from the vision I had about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Saiton, do you happen to know who Lacan is?
Yeah, what is happening? I think we need to go back this way, because we need to make our way to the town bridge. Which I think is, yeah, here we go. I love this song.
Mm-hmm. It has the same kind of vibe and qualities of a song in Valkyrie Profile.
You're right. Yeah, it's very similar.
Very similar kind of like motif. Maybe instrumentation helps with that too, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good
I had no idea Sig had such a past. Are you still suspicious of Sigurd? Well, I mean, it's just so sudden. I kind of expected to hear something different, like that we were childhood rivals or something. But that's nothing compared to the story he just told us, is it? So hearing his story has you confused because it's not so simple. Listen, man, I only got 2 brain cells. I'm sorry, Bart is smarter than that. There was a time when he was cooperating with one of Gebler's generals. Furthermore, behind Gebler was a country that you had never even heard of. Hey, what are you picking on me for? No, I'm not picking on you or blaming anything on you. What I'm saying is this. If you think about how he feels, then you should see why he could not talk about this with you till now. Looking at the activities of Solaris toward other countries up until now, it has never gone beyond simply maintaining their own empire or self-preservation. And as you have seen, their military power is immense, so Sigurd is probably thinking ahead. It's also very interesting that for this country to be as small as it is, because the implication is it's quite small compared to the rest of like Av and Kislev and all that.
Kislev, yep.
They are a world power, like
Yes.
leagues more powerful than anybody else. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with this very relationship that they've shepherded the lambs to be exactly where they want them to be.
But how exactly are they accomplishing that, right?
Right. Where did all this tech come from? Because all the surface dwellers are digging up this.
Yeah, they're digging up
things.
gears and other tech and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, and I have no reason to believe that Gebler's making new gears. That they are also still using these dug up gears. So I don't know.
Yeah.
First, he was probably concentrating on taking care of the problems here on the continent of Ignis. Once things were settled here, it would give him a stronger foundation to deal with the Solaris later. Which is a much better plan than rushing straight into war. He knew he could not win. Quite logical, really. Sounds like you understand one another pretty well. They ought to.
Yep.
It's well, it's not like we are newly acquainted, is it? And we had talked about a lot of things up until we decided to escape from Solaris. Still gotta understand what elementals are. Or elements, excuse me.
Elements, yeah.
Speaking of that, why did you leave? That Ramses guy was supposed to be a star of hope or something, wasn't he? Yeah, what happened to Ramses?
Good question.
Yes, I certainly thought so at first. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. But then I realized his way of thinking really was not that much of a change from the previous system. Basically, the only difference was whether they stressed people's rank and class or their skill. Ah, I see.
Meritocracy.
Yep, the words had changed, but it was still no different from what Solaris itself had been doing up until then. He had no intentions of bringing everyone a better way of life. He just wanted to be at the top.
Pretty much.
In other words, he's an elitist. I don't think I like him much either.
I love Bart's just summing it up. Like, that's pretty much what Ramses is. Like, he believes in meritocracy. He believes people with the ability should rule, and that's Seitan doesn't agree with him. That's why he left.
Yep. Okay, they were hoping for.
And I also, while you're kind of writing down stuff, basically I like Seitan. He is he's sort of defending Sigurd, but in a way to where he's explaining. Like, he's like, here's what he's actually trying to do. Right? Like, he wasn't trying to deceive you. He wasn't trying to do any of this. This is his motive for not saying anything until now.
Right. And I think it's more to give Bart a perspective too, because if he gives Bart the details, then Bart can go, if I were in his position, I probably would have done the same thing.
Right.
Yeah,
he's conveying this understanding. And this is one of the reasons, because when I first played this game, I was just like, what? Seitan, are you like a secret traitor or something? Like, what is happening? Like, all of this stuff. What is your goal? And then moments like this, I'm just like, well, he does seem to care about the people around him. He's far too introspective to be, kind of a mustache-twirling traitor, villain, or anything like that.
Right.
So, there's still a lot of questions about Seitan, but we've learned a little more about him as well, and that helps you you're getting a fuller picture of this mysterious person.
Right, and this kind of goes back a little bit to an observation I had before, which is that he is playing chess, I think is the word I used.
Yes.
Now, obviously, we know more of the pieces in play. So we got Sigurd, and we've got Ramses, and we've got Myung, which we don't know how their pieces fall on the board, so to speak.
True.
But there's clearly a strategy at play here that they're trying to maneuver. And honestly, them learning that Myung and Ramses are on the surface has forced them to reconsider their strategy. So obviously it's not like a set in stone plan. It's kind of,
they're adapting,
playing it right. But there's clearly some manipulation is the word I'm going to use, but like not in a negative way.
Strategizing.
They're trying to make things happen in a way that benefits our side, the players, rather than Gebler's.
Yes. Yes, and if you think about it, there's sort of a general knowledge of Gebler. Solaris, people generally don't know about Solaris. They just know there's this other military force that's helping Av.
Right. Well, and Gebler and Solaris are considered synonymous in a lot of ways, right?
Gebler is the military branch of Solaris as a nation.
Gotcha.
So, yes, basically, they're about the same thing, because it's a very... Yeah, I mean, we'll learn more about it, but yeah, that's basically the relationship between Solaris, Gebler, and Etranonk being the capital as well.
Okay, so it's akin to saying like the Marines is what
the armed forces of sorts. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So, Seitan, do you think I can beat Gebler? Not at all. I mean, why? Are you planning on fighting them? As long as they're working with Shakan, there's no way around it. The way things are going, I'm sure we'll have to fight them sooner or later. It's a good observation. I suppose so, but even if we were to defeat the Gebler forces here, there's still Solaris to deal with. If we are not careful, it is possible that we may get involved in a longer war than that with Shakan. Do you not agree that continuing the way we have been going is rather hard on everyone? I think it is time we try and get help from a greater number of people. So defeating Shakan's not going to get rid of the likes of Gebler. I know what you're trying to say. To vanquish Gebler, first gain thy throne, right? You could put it that way, I suppose. What do you mean you could put it that way? But then again, maybe it is time I did something about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Certainly wouldn't hurt
Yeah, I mean, there's power available to you. I think we actually need to go.
Bart, our pirate prince.
Yeah. I think here, maybe? No, I think this is the hotel, actually.
It's off, soldiers, run.
Okay, understood.
Oh, man.
Yeah, quite a lot, right?
Right.
Let's see here. Okay. I think this is... Yeah, this is the shop. Okay.
Oh, man.
Drop here.
Going to have a lot of notes after this episode.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ready for more?
Good thing I brought my water.
Uh-huh.
I went to the tool shop to borrow a table. The owner said, if we need anything for the young master, just ask for it. I'm grateful. So we're headed out the town hall to have a war meeting?
Yeah, pretty much.
When I was a kid, I borrowed stuff from there and got in big trouble. Borrowed? What did you take and not return? I mean, what did you take? A toy boat. I think that's what it was. I put fireworks in it and it let float on the cathedral's lake. I always used to play Navy. I'm not sure, but I think I pretended the lake was the open sea. And I was the fleet commander.
Yeah.
That was before I got obsessed with pirates. Anyway, forget those old stories. We should get started.
Yeah. War
First.
drums.
Yes, Gebler is the big problem. Yes, Ramses is headed towards achieving his goals. That he is now the commander of Gebler is proof of that. A normal man could not progress so quickly through that country's organization. He'd had help, and now he is presently located here at Ignis. He knows somebody. Frankly, the situation is not very favorable. We need to somehow find a weak spot and attack it with all our might. I don't think 3 gears are going to cut it for that, though. First, let's just concentrate on Shakan. Once he's out of the way and Av is safe again, we can think about how to deal with Gebler. With our present strength, we should be able to hold off the Royal Guard forces. The problem is how to deal with Gebler in the meantime. They will most likely move to Shakan's requests. They're not just going to sit by and watch quietly. May I have a look at there, please? Oh, that's a map. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In short, we want Gebler to leave for a while. At least until we're able to take back the royal capital, Bledavik. Yeah, but even getting the capital back, you're going to have to find a way to reinforce that.
Mm-hmm.
These are the Gebler units currently in Av, correct? The Western Guards. The Royal Capital Defense Force. Are the RCDF.
Indeed.
And units along the front line at the border with Kislev. Okay, so Kislev border is like that mountain range, I guess.
Yeah, and red up there, I believe, signifies the Kislev forces.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 main groups. Each is made of a mix of Gebler and Av forces. Only 2 of these are very large. Oh, and then there's at the top northwest is where we are.
Yeah, the Western Front is less, is what he's saying.
Yep. The Royal Capital's defense units and Kislev border units. The Western Guard along Nisan's border are little more than a surveillance team. Okay. Spinny, 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 spinny. In order to recapture the royal capital, it will be necessary to draw these defense units away from Bledavik. We have some Kislev-made gears, correct?
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah, we captured some earlier.
Yeah, so we have several others.
What if we used those gears to make a raid on the Western Guards? Here at the border with Nasan. I see. We'll draw them out by making it look like Kislev is invading Ov. But the problem is, will attacking the border guards be enough to set the center in motion? To be sure then, Nasan will just have to appear to align with Kislev. If they see it that way, they will certainly make a move. That seems really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that you intend to use Nasan as bait? I don't like that. Doc? Shakan is very sensitive to Nasan's and Kislev's actions. If Nasan starts moving, he will probably leave it up to Gebler, but... Of course, I do not wish to do that from the beginning. But looking at the situation, we have to be willing to go that far. Better consult with the Holy Mother. First, we infiltrate into the capital. To take out Shakan, we'll have to meet up with our agents already in the city. We'll punch him in the jeans.
Yeah.
We are forgetting one thing. The frontline units along Kislev's borders. What? The main strength of Ov's fleet is in the battleship Kefensel.
Kefensel, yeah.
Kefensel.
It's like a German word. I don't actually remember that one. I'll have to check that.
Kefensel?
Kefensel,
Okay.
yeah.
It's been in service since the reign of the last king. Because of its firepower, the whole unit is nicknamed the Invincible Fleet. I recall yesterday's intelligence report said that the ship is near the border. Damn, that puts everything in jeopardy. Do not feel so down. I simply wanted you to see the current distribution of force in the area. Even if the worst case that they come, it will not be such a great problem. What do you mean? You just said they had crazy firepower. I have some additional information about Ov's border fleet. The former Ov Supreme Commander was transferred there. Not really transferred, more like demoted. His name is Vanderkam.
We saw him earlier getting chewed out by Ramses, the dude with the
did.
plus sign on his face.
Are you about to become one of our party members?
Vanderkam.
Vanderkam. You don't mean the Vanderkam that was in Jugend? Another one?
Mm-hmm. You
The
can
very
graduate.
same. Well, he was again. I guess that's not surprising. He was talked down by the commander-in-chief, so...
Right.
Young one, he has not been able to adapt to the change in tactics, particularly following the introduction of gears. He is a man who will never stray from his dependence on large naval guns. You mean he's stubborn? He is all size and no real military power, an excellent target for pirates. Young master, this is not going to be an act of piracy. I mean, it can be. Just kidding. Actually, the number of gears assigned to the fleet seems to have been reduced. Even with that, how gallant of him to be so self-righteous. Is he that much of a musclehead? It'll be fun taunting him. Young master! I know. Anyway, Saiton, do you think you can strike our gear forces? He can. Do you think he can strike? It is not a problem. Even with Vanderkam, we have enough forces left to pull off the feint. However, it would not be wise to underestimate our opponents. Well, now that we know what we are up against, here's what we'll do. Apart from our main unit heading for Bledavik, we must keep the fleet at the Kislev border from returning to the capital. So you're suggesting we have another unit? A few effective soldiers to hold the enemy at bay. A small force is best. A special force, you might say?
One might say.
A small force. Super secret task force.
Yeah.
What if Faye leads a group of gears there? Faye's like, wait a minute, I didn't agree to anything.
What?
Why are you all looking at me?
Me?
Me? Hold on now. There's no reason to involve you all in this.
We're pretty involved already.
Yeah, this is a little late to be saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. Yeah, let me do it. When do we leave? Let's go right now. I want to punch something.
Immediately.
Are you sure? I mean, I don't need you to have another emotional breakdown halfway there.
I know, right?
I mean, it's understandable and all, but anyway. We've come this far. And hey, we're friends now, or to the end now.
Friends to the end. Friends forever.
Yep. Little did you know, it was the friendships you made along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Speed is everything. We should do this as soon as possible. All right, tomorrow. Not that soon.
Mm-hmm. All right then.
I was thinking in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
I am truly grateful, Faye. Saiton. Hyuga.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Let's go. There's no way we can lose. No one will die in vain. Well put, young master. Okay, so they have a good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know where all the people that they need for the strategy are coming from.
Sure. There are additional people being used in the feint with the Kislev gears. Uh-oh. What's the music?
Good morning. That was...
A little bit of an odd transition, right?
It was. Something's happening for sure. What's with the long face? Not feeling well? Or are you feeling sad about saying goodbye? Or maybe you're just nervous? Shut up, stupid. Don't bug me. He. Well, it's almost time. I guess they talked to them about the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, just to bring them on board with what's going on, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, because if you're going to take a whole, city and make it a problem,
Mm-hmm.
a fake problem for another country, it's probably good to let the leadership know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone ready to go? I'll be waiting here, so let me know when you are through preparing. Ooh.
Okay. So we've got a good plan going so far here. We will have a final chance before beginning the operation. So our current level of upgrades is fine for now. So Veltal is in good shape to do the operation. We have maximum upgrades. and I don't believe an ether doubler is going to do a lot to help, because Veltal is not really an ether-based gear. So
Right.
we're in pretty good shape here for the moment, and we will have one more opportunity. So we'll go ahead and start the operation. We are kind of getting close to time here, so we'll probably engage the full operation next time. But let's go ahead and get it at least started here.
Yeah, gotta leave it on cliffhanger.
That's right.
Are you ready?
Oh,
no,
right.
Not yet. All right, yeah, let's go. Woo!
Woohoo!
Let's go! Our comrades in Asan will hit the Western Guard and Kislev uniforms as planned.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait for the right moment and then head for the palace in Yggdrasil. Got it, but avoid any unnecessary deaths. This is especially goes for the OV troops, the people from Gebler, and also the people from Gebler.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we understand. Minimal bloodshed. Got it. I guess I'm going to raise some hell in my Veltal then. We're counting on you. Next time we meet, I won't be able to call you Bart or Young Master. Maybe Your Majesty? Cut it out. Bart's fine. Great Mother of Nasan. Hey, you know I hate that title. Ha 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 ha.
Just poke at each other.
Yep. Clearly sibling vibe going on here.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, we're out of here. Okay, good luck. Bye-bye now.
Hey, roll out. Let's go.
Marguerite and Bartholomew. Seeing you two brings my hopes up. Long ago, before the Fatimas and Av were called Fatima, the royal brothers and their wives oversaw many prosperous reigns or eras. I'm looking forward to the day when, as Great Mother of the Nasan sect, you will take your place on the throne as Bartholomew's wife. I knew she was going to go that direction.
Of
I
course.
just knew it.
Yep.
Because they act like siblings, naturally they must be love interests, or at least betrothed in some way.
Yeah.
At least mentally, right? Like, not necessarily officially.
It's sort of an odd situation. I've never known how to really feel about it.
It's a political thing
Yeah,
more
it
than
is.
anything else.
Yeah.
And it's possible that the age difference that they seem to be isn't actually that big.
Well, I think
you know.
Margie looks younger than she does because of how she dresses, honestly. Like, just
Right,
the bright
like-
colors and stuff, you know?
Right. She could be, like, if Bart's 18, she could be 16 instead of, like, 12.
Yeah,
So-
that's how I take her, like 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah. I'll still give her the voice I got, though. She's going to have to deal with it.
Yep.
What? Hey, hold on. I hate talking about queens and romance. Bart and I are best friends. That's exactly what Simba and Nala said. Marriages is the best friendship. I'll agree with that. If you find the right person. Well, Marguerite, at the rate that you are maturing into a beautiful woman, I don't think Bart will be able to ignore you much longer. Stop! You're embarrassing me.
Stop it.
It's a good thing he's not here. Maitreya?
Maitreya, yep.
Each squad of gear takes off in order from here to avoid being picked up. We'll meet at the Rockies by the border tomorrow at 1200. Got it? Okay. The time has finally come. I'm pumped.
Pumped.
Yes. The warship's outdated. You're only going in as a small unit. It's going to be a tough fight, but you could change Av's future. I'm counting on you. Leave it up to us, young master. We'll drag Vanderkamp's tail around and around. Right, son? Don't call me son, because you sure ain't my pops.
You sure ain't my pops. I'm pretty sure this is a interesting localization choice as well. It's definitely odd.
It's a very American way to say something, honestly.
It is, yeah. I don't recall exactly what was said in Japanese here. I will check that. Actually, I'm going to make a note to check that because if I recall, it was an interesting localization choice. So next time,
Sure
I will
ain't my
explain that.
pops.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, young master, we promised to make something out of this battle.
All right.
Bye.
Faye just standing there.
Okay, I'll leave too. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Faye, it's odd for me to say this since I'm the one who got you involved, but be careful, okay? You too. If anything happens to me, take care of Margie and them for me. Don't jinx yourself. It's not like you... But I'll take care of them. Don't worry. What were you gonna say, Faye?
Well, he's saying it's not like you.
Oh.
Check it out. It's the
I-
cruiser.
I totally misread that.
Yeah.
I read it as, it's not like you, and he just didn't finish the sentence.
Oh, I love this scene.
Sandstone cannon fire.
Yeah.
Gear cannon.
Bazap. Bazap.
The Yggdrasil has a railgun, and its bullets are gears.
Launch. Ooh. Yeah, there aren't very many cutscenes like that in this game, but the few there are very, very cool.
Yeah. Ooh, a red moon.
Yeah.
Are we near Nazrad? Anyway.
Here we go.
Oh, aren't you going to rest up a little?
All right. Let's see here. Does Myson have anything to say? Let's just check with him real quick, and then we'll save and call it for this episode. Hey, buddy.
At long last, we are heading to Bloodavik tomorrow. Though he is the prince, our young master doesn't know the royal capital very well. I'd always felt that was an awful pity, but despite that, I tried my best to raise him as a crown prince. However, looking back, I might have put too much of the burdens of kingship on him too early in life. And it might have been too much for a child with a future like his to handle. I must be the most terrible minder ever.
So hard on yourself, buddy.
My dear Lord Myson, I hardly think that is right. The young one have taken the burden off of himself had he not wanted to bear it any longer. He is a fine man now, far capable of handling any such burdens of pressures. And I believe you are the very ones who have given him the strength to do so. Oh my good Dr. Uzuki.
All right. And we're in good shape here.
I hope I can be of service again.
Yes. All right. And then there is one scene remaining before we head on to the Kislev-Ov border. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode for now. Quite a lot of lore, quite a lot of interesting developments, and we got a lot of answers and a little bit more of a look at what the overall conflict looks like a little bit, at least locally in Ignas here.
Right.
But yeah, the next time we have Faye leading the feint on the border. And then there are other gears along the Nissan border as well. And the goal is to overwhelm Shakan's forces and distract the Gebler forces to allow retaking the capital.
Got a lot to do.
Yeah, so we'll be getting into that. Mostly a lot of dialogue this time, not really any fighting or anything like that. That's sort of this game, you know, you go from a decent amount of fighting and gameplay to, all right, time for lore, time for story, time for narrative.
Yeah. All right.
But we'll go ahead and... Yeah, you got a lot of notes?
I do. I have a lot of notes, but nothing we need to discuss right now because we've kind of been pretty thorough in our discussion. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah, we got plenty to think about and kind of ruminate on as we go. But yeah, we hope you guys are all enjoying this, and join us next time. We'll be back to the mecha fighting action next time.
Yeah. Giant robots. If you don't like giant robots, this is the wrong game for you.
Yeah, lots of giant robots in this game.
Right.
Yeah, really is more obvious the more you play this game that Takahashi was such a big fan of Gundam back in the 90s and everything. There's just more and more of those parallels become obvious as you go.
Right. Anyway, in the meantime, if you like what you've been watching, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear anybody's thoughts on what's happened so far. Obviously, for some of us who haven't gone through it before, me, please keep it as spoiler-free as you possibly can. Maybe only comment on what's been revealed up to this point in the videos. But yeah, still would love to hear your thoughts and look forward to experiencing and going on this journey with you in the future. More than anything else, thanks for just hanging out with us. Hope you're having a great time. Hope you're able to expand your mind a little bit and learn something new, maybe. I know I certainly am. And if this isn't really your cup of tea, feel free to check out our other series. We got Skies of Arcadia up already. We're working through Wind Waker at this point. We've got Unpacking, and we've got another Tea Time game coming up soon for you guys that I think you'll enjoy. So yeah, please check us out.
Absolutely.
Other than that, we will see you all in the next video.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye-bye now.
Diddly diddly do 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 do. Thanks for watching.